I'm gonna be completely honest with a lot of you, but I have not been doing okay. Ever since last April, um, I have been going through profound highs and lows where I'm very much uh, in my power and very grounded, and things seem so clear, and I feel like I've recalled everything that I've been putting out for so long back to me. And then other days, there's a part of me that feels like, how is life after this supposed to go on? And, almost like I'm living in a dream, a nightmare, and I'm wondering when I'll wake up. And I'm just learning now that there's no such thing as a linear way of healing. Even though I've been through so much already and have healed from so much, I guess being a Capricorn, I'm just so used to the idea of a linear structure, of something that's very like point A to point B, instead of this winding road or this like seesaw of like swinging into good days and swinging into bad days. And some days I feel like I'm taking 2 steps backwards. And even my therapist, when I'm talking to him on days like that, tells me like, this does not sound like you at all. And I think that's because the hardest part about a failed twin flame connection, especially one that's been as so prolonged as mine, is that it's really hard to accept the reality that's in front of you. At least for me, it's been very hard to accept the reality, just because I believed in one thing for so long. I believed in what I considered to be the truth of a deeply profound connection for so long that I have a very hard time believing that any of it was false. And I think the reason why I'm having a hard time accepting that or even entertaining the idea is because deep down inside, it's undeniable that I was just led on for years. I was strung along. I was someone's backup or retainer for over a decade. And now as they island hop from one relationship to another, leapfrogging over me, making me once again feel like I'm not good enough, even though every conversation and connection that we've had throughout the years has only reinforced to both of us how special and unique our connection is. And that's the thing too, is that distorts my own perspective on the matter. She is very much responsible for her own life and her own words. And I can only dilute myself so much into thinking, oh, someone else or a few someone else's have stirred her into thinking completely out of character, or this is her true character, and the character I've been getting was just like one aspect of who she is. Not that that is false in and of itself, but with that one face that I've always been getting from this person, I've been led to believe that she was so much of that person. A very compassionate, open-hearted. And these are all aspects that I still believe are true of her. But there's a level of narcissism, there's a level of self-centeredness, there's a level of deceit that I was completely blind to until, you know, I opened up my conversations to a few others. This is a very personal story for me, but I have a feeling that it's far from unique, and that a lot of you watching have also been like misled. Maybe it wasn't for 12 years, but I'm sure a lot of you have been deceived before. And so I feel like connecting with you on this level with my own story, like, maybe could give you the space and the courage to share what you've been through, to not be afraid or ashamed of being fooled and being had, and also not being ashamed of taking the responsibility, because this is partially the reason why I feel like sharing a failed twin flame connection with you guys, is that I like to show that it's okay to own our failures, and that it's okay to own when we were deluding ourselves a little bit, when we were living in that fantasy and refusing to accept the reality. You know, regardless of how fluffed up it was by the other person, there's still a level of responsibility that we need to take for all of this. But I believe that there's a purpose in a failed twin flame connection. I think that just like meeting our twin flame, I think losing our twin flame is meant to once again awaken us and catapult us into a higher level of awareness. But unlike the previous meeting, the original initial catapult of like ascension, this is laced with pain. This is laced with a bit of suffering. And so now the true purpose behind Morning Coffee is brought to light through this very personal experience that I'm going through. I'm awakening through this pain. And some days it's just messy. And I guess I'm just here right now to share that if you're going through something similar like that and you feel lost or like a mess and you really need to get your act together, that it's okay that you don't have your act together right now. It's okay that you're not okay. Because I'm not okay. And I know that, you know, some days are just better than others, and eventually we'll all be okay. We'll make it through this. So, thanks for listening.